South Korea dominates esports globally. So why is MLBB missing Korean teams? This is the same country that shaped League of Legends, StarCraft, Overwatch, and Valorant into global powerhouses. Korea has the infrastructure, the talent, the discipline, and the winning culture. So when Mobile Legends fans look at global competitive scenes and ask, where are the Korean teams? The question makes total sense. And today we're finally breaking down the real reason why you never see a Korean MLBB team, at least for now. Welcome back to Mobile Legends News. Today's topic is one of the most requested and most misunderstood questions in the community. Why doesn't South Korea have a strong Mobile Legends competitive presence? This isn't about skill. Korea has proven for decades that they can dominate any esport they commit to. Instead, this story is about timing, infrastructure, official support, and why MLBB's growth path simply didn't intersect with Korea the way it did with Southeast Asia. The confusion around Korea's absence in MLBB is completely understandable. From an outsider's perspective, it feels like a missed opportunity. Mobile Legends Bang Bang has an established global competitive circuit officially supported by its publisher, with structured regional leagues, international championships, and massive viewership numbers in Southeast Asia regions. Meanwhile, Korea has the infrastructure, the talent pipeline, and the competitive culture to dominate almost any esport it touches. On paper, it should be a perfect match. The reality, however, is that MLBB's official regional focus tells a different story. Based on information released through official MLBB and Moonton channels, the game's strongest competitive investments, server support, and league ecosystems are heavily concentrated in Southeast Asia, Latin America, and parts of the Middle East, and Korea, by contrast, has never been positioned as a priority region in MLBB's official esports roadmap. Without localized servers, sustained marketing, or a dedicated regional league backed by the publisher, competitive growth simply doesn't happen. Another major challenge lies in Korea's existing esports hierarchy. According to official statements and regional game publisher data, the Korean market is already saturated with long-established competitive titles, with games like League of Legends and other domestically supported esports, which dominate both casual and professional aspirations. For aspiring Korean pros, MLBB offers no clear official pathway, no guaranteed league exposure, and no long-term career stability compared to games already embedded in Korea's esports ecosystem. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle. Without official leagues, organizations won't invest. Without organizations, players won't commit. And without players, MLBB remains invisible in the Korean competitive scene. It's not that Korean players can't compete. It's that the ecosystem needed to support them, as shown by official MLBB regional structures, simply doesn't exist yet. And until that changes at the publisher level, Korea's absence from MLBB esports isn't a mystery. It's a consequence of how the game was officially built, marketed, and sustained. Alright, let's get something straight right away. Korea not having an MLBB team is not because Korean players are bad at the game. That idea doesn't survive even 5 seconds of logical thought. This is the same region that turned esports into a science, a lifestyle, and in some cases, a national identity. If Korea wanted to dominate MLBB tomorrow, they absolutely could. The real question is why they haven't wanted to. And the answer starts with understanding how deeply different Korea's gaming culture is compared to where Mobile Legends truly shines. In South Korea, gaming is built around PCs in the same way basketball is built around shoes. PC bangs aren't just internet cafes. They're social hubs, training grounds, and talent factories. Competitive gaming there was shaped by decades of PC-first titles. And that foundation still defines what real esports looks like in the country today. League of Legends sits at the center of that ecosystem, not just a popular game, but as an institution. It has official academies, long-standing franchises, stable salaries, mainstream sponsorships, and even public recognition. When young Korean players dream of going pro, they don't imagine themselves on a phone. They imagine an LCK stage, studio lights, and a jersey with legacy behind it. Now contrast that with Mobile Legends. Globally, MLBB is one of the most watched esports titles in the world right now, pulling millions of viewers in official tournaments and dominating mobile esports viewership in regions like Southeast Asia. But the key detail here is that almost all of that success is regionally concentrated. MLBB didn't grow by trying to compete head-on with PC esports giants in Korea. Instead, it exploded in regions where mobile gaming is the primary platform, not the secondary one. In countries like the Philippines and Indonesia, mobile phones aren't just casual devices. They're the main gateway to competitive gaming. MLBB didn't replace an existing ecosystem there. It became the ecosystem. In Korea, MLBB would be doing the opposite. It would be trying to squeeze into a space already dominated by an esport that has over a decade of cultural momentum. That's like launching a brand new boy band and asking them to outperform BTS on debut. Even if the talent is there, the audience, infrastructure, and emotional investment has already been spoken for. League of Legends isn't just played in Korea. It's studied, analyzed, and culturally embedded. Mobile Legends, no matter how successful globally, simply doesn't carry that same weight locally. Then there's the perception gap between mobile and PC esports. In Southeast Asia, mobile esports are treated with the same seriousness as PC titles. Players train full-time, teams are well-funded, and tournaments fill arenas. In Korea, mobile games are massively popular at the casual level, but competitive mobile esports still didn't command the same prestige. They're often seen as lighter, faster, more accessible, which sounds positive until you realize prestige is what attracts long-term investment. Professional organizations, sponsors, and training institutions go where legitimacy and longevity are guaranteed. And right now, in Korea, that guarantee still overwhelmingly belongs to PC esports. Another massive factor is publisher focus, and this one is purely structural. MLBB's developer and publisher has been very clear through its actions about where the game's competitive future is centered. Official leagues, server support, marketing pushes, and grassroots development programs are heavily concentrated in regions where MLBB already dominates. Southeast Asia has the MPL system. Latin America and the Middle East have expanding regional circuits. These aren't accidents. They're strategic investments. Korea, on the other hand, has never had a fully supported long-term MLBB esports league backed at that same level. Without that foundation, competitive scenes don't grow organically. Think about it from a team owner's perspective. Why invest millions into building a Korean MLBB roster when there's no guaranteed domestic league, limited local exposure, and no clear path to international qualification? That's not ambition. That's financial suicide. Esports organizations don't gamble. They calculate. And right now, the numbers tell them MLBB's success lives elsewhere. This also affects players directly. Korean esports culture is extremely career-oriented. Young players aren't just playing for fun. They're playing with a roadmap in mind. Training programs, scouting systems, amateur leagues, and academy teams. All of these exist in PC esports. MLBB simply doesn't offer that same ladder in Korea yet, even if a player loves the game. Choosing it over a PC title means choosing uncertainty over structure. And in a region where esports careers are taken very seriously, that's a hard sell. If you're having trouble understanding, here's a fun way to picture it. Korean's esports scene is like a 5-star fine dining restaurant with a legendary menu. League of Legends is the signature dish, refined, perfected, and internationally recognized. Mobile Legends is more like the global street food phenomenon. In some cities, it's the biggest attraction on the book, drawing massive crowds and non-stop hype. But in Korea, it hasn't been invited into the fine dining hall yet. Not because it lacks flavor, but because the kitchen is already fully booked. So when fans ask, why don't we see Korean MLBB teams? The answer isn't disappointing. It's logical. MLBB didn't fail in Korea. It simply grew where the conditions were perfect, and Korea wasn't one of those places. At least, not yet. Until mobile esports gain equal prestige locally, and until the publisher commits to building a Korean competitive ecosystem from the ground up, Korea's MLBB absence isn't a mystery. It's a consequence of how esports ecosystems evolve. And who knows, if the landscape shifts, If mobile esports prestige rises, or if MLBB decides to make a serious push into Korea, everything could change. But for now, MLBB and Korea are like two powerhouses standing on opposite sides of the stage. Both are successful, both are dominant, just playing different games. Korea's absence in Mobile Legends esports isn't about a lack of skill, passion, or competitive DNA. It's the result of how esports ecosystem naturally formed. Korea's market is deeply rooted in PC gaming, with League of Legends occupying a cultural and structural position that mobile titles simply can't be replaced with. At the same time, MLBB has strategically grown in regions where mobile gaming is the primary competitive platform, backed by strong publisher investment, official leagues, and clear career pathways. Until those same conditions exist in Korea, MLBB's absence there isn't a failure. It's a reflection of market dynamics, preferences, and regional focus. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Mobile Legends could ever break into the Korean esports scene? Or is the gap just too wide right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe and watch our next video on Mobile Legends news, where we explore how MLBB is rapidly growing in emerging regions around the world. Till next time!